fucking morons. Ringing again, huh? Oh, well. Keep doing it. Keep ringing it.
Please leave your message for
I had to turn off this from recording so that I could call his phone. The recording started almost as his tantrum ended, but no, he wasn't done slamming shit, he was just done screaming. So I thought, anyway, that's not what I was making this video for. I was making this video about one of my predators, Benjamin FISCHBURN. No matter what, the police and the courts refused to listen to any and all witnesses that wouldn't lie. They refused to listen to any and all witnesses that said something that didn't fit their goddamn narrative. They didn't need any fucking proof. They just refused to do their jobs, and that was good enough. The same thing I'm having to deal with to this day. On February 11th, my public pretender wanted to pretend like the abuse that I continue to go through doesn't matter with my court, that only stuff that happened beforehand matters. Well, actually, it all matters because it's frequent and ongoing. Then he wants to change the scenario in his head, right? This is what happens when you ask a whole bunch of questions instead of listening to the victim and letting him finish, because there's a point to what they're fucking telling you. They're not just telling you their story just to tell it to you. It's not like I'm talking about fairies and goddamn rainbows with this feller. I am staying on point, and he's wanting to, through the entire engagement, change the subject. No matter what, there's some bullshit excuse that he can use to blow off literally anything that I say. And even if he listens to it for a bit before literally blowing off everything I say, he's still not listening to my fucking story. Meanwhile, he's obviously not looking at the evidence of the story. Now, as far as speaking up on YouTube and Facebook, I do that because the police won't do their jobs. Meanwhile, I can't function because I'm stuck in abusive environment after abusive environment. And yes, being stuck in public as a homeless person is an abusive environment. This guy wants to ignore the fact that I've sent him evidence. I told him about the evidence. I also did my best to try to tell him about my disabilities, but he just wanted to blow it off by offering me a ride back here. Well, that doesn't address my fucking issues. That doesn't address my disabilities. That does nothing to accommodate my disabilities as far as all the things that he's asking me to do. It doesn't get me a safe environment where I can sit down in peace and quiet and work on this stuff without having to deal with alcoholics being constantly demanding because they did something else stupid because they were drunk. Or being assaulted by another fucking drug addict. You think that's fun for me? No, it's absolutely not. Now let's take a look at some of this stuff. He's got his, what do you call him, investigator? Richard something or other. Now, I should open up my emails. Let's see if it'll let me do that and still stay online. It might not. Now, those of you who've heard what's going on here and heard the screaming in the background in the last few nights, you get to see that I'm telling the truth about these environments. You get to see that I'm scared for a reason. You get to see that when I scream and shout on YouTube, it's because it's the only thing you fucking hear. If I don't fucking curse to put emphasis on it, you pretend that there's not a real problem because I'm not fucking cursing. But if I do fucking curse to put goddamn emphasis on this fucking bullshit, you pretend that I raped your fucking dog. You pretend I'm beating on your fucking kids. Yeah, that's how serious you pretend me cursing is. No, my friends are fucking dead. Natalie got a hole right through her fucking head. Meanwhile, the people that you make me go to for help are the people who, in neglect of their duties, got Natalie Bollinger's head blown off. And you tell me I have to go back to these predators to turn them into themselves? Are you fucking insane? No police officer was going to do their fucking job. I'm a homeless man. They'd rather leave me to be victimized in places like this. Empty promises. They won't allow me to do these things for myself. And how okay is that? Now, on February 11th, mind you, I've gone to his office, tried to explain what's going on, and he just talked over everything. I tell him I've got evidence of the abuse and assaults, as well as neglect by the police officers and bullying by the police officers. And he wants to change the word bullying to assaults by the officers here. And he wants to know which officers assaulted me, and he wants to go off on that. I'm like, stop, dude, stop. I need you to stop. Stop pretending that assault is the only type of abuse that there is. That's the only type of a crime that a police officer can commit. Physical assault. That's all Mr. FISCHBURN was willing to pretend to listen to. But no, he was going off on a tangent about it. About how all this other stuff is hard to... No, it's not hard to prove. It's very easy to prove because I recorded it all. But I don't have a safe place to go through thousands of recordings. And while I am still being abused, I still have to record. While I am still in an abusive environment, I still have to record. I record to show that I'm telling the fucking truth. But by the time this piece of shit stops trying to turn everything into a goddamn argument, this evidence is buried under how many fucking weeks? This guy is a lazy piece of shit. Gmail. Let's see what we got here. Oh, here's Mr. Rick, the guy who was supposed to be the investigator. Why the hell isn't it loading? Let's see, this is Friday, March 8th. So this will be afterwards. We'll go to the other dude's stuff first. Let's see. Oh, come on now. It would have been February 11th. So we'll scroll back to February 11th. BDF at Ben F. Legal. Let's see. I click copy. And I'm going to paste this in the comments. Live chat, I guess. Hopefully it's not too many characters. Yeah, that's the guy. So he typed to me, I've reviewed the videos that you sent me. While most of them show that you are a frequent victim of violence from Andrew Wolnez, most of them are from after September 15th, the date of the allegations. We ideally want videos from before that date. Oh, by the way, there's plenty of them. Let's see. We ideally want videos from before that date, since that would show that you were in a constant state of danger at the time you made the 911 calls. Well, the repeated 911 calls and the videos surrounding those 911 calls show the state of mind that I was in and why. In many of those instances, I didn't even have the ability to record, and that was much of the issue. You know, a lot of times people aren't going to stop and let you pull out your camera and get it started to film them. When you're out in public, you always have the right to record. Always. When you're homeless, you're permanently in public, which means that you permanently have the right to record. Also, any of these places that you're sent to, as far as goods and services go, from the United States government, you are allowed to record because they will take advantage of you. None of these people want to do their jobs. It takes actual work. Kind of like lots of people, ideally in a perfect world, wanted to help me to turn this in, but they never got around to it. Anyway, it says, we ideally want videos from before that date, since that would show that you were in a constant state of danger at the time you made the 911 calls. Proving that you have been in a state of danger since is less helpful. Well, since there's evidence of both, that's pretty important. It says, as a prosecutor, The prosecutor could argue that these conflicts didn't start until after you made those calls. Well, that's absolutely not true because it's multiple people involved. And that's the important thing that, well, what did Andrew Wolnez use as his excuse for harming me? Huh? See, I don't care how the prosecutor could twist it illegally. It's against the law for the son of a bitch to do it. I know that the prosecutor could break the law. I'm well aware of that. That's why Mr. FISCHBURN is supposed to do his job and his due diligence and make sure that that doesn't happen, which he's obviously, rather than doing something to make sure that doesn't happen, he's going out of his way to fearmonger at me. This is not okay. Now, the stuff that he's typing at me, this is all common sense stuff. And if it were matching my situation, then it would make sense. But it doesn't match my situation. This is from February 11th of 2024 at 6:11 p.m. I mean, this is what, almost 2 months ago now. Almost 2 months ago. Now, the important part after that is the dragging out by his investigator. I recorded the calls. I recorded the conversations with Benjamin, too. He doesn't care about my disabilities or how they inhibit me. He doesn't care. Meanwhile, that is part of what makes it so easy to victimize me, is that I can't do these things for myself. I also can't protect myself when somebody wants to get fucked up on drugs or alcohol and get physically violent. When I'm in a subservient environment and someone decides they're going to change the rules 10 times a day and yell at me over it, I just have to take that verbal abuse. I take it to the internet. I speak up about it. And yes, I speak up angrily because people shouldn't be targeting me like that. I shouldn't be the target of their anger. I shouldn't be the target of their hatred. It says, let's see, proving that you have been in a state of danger since is less helpful. Well, I sent him the evidence of them youngins and their racist bullshit. Yeah, that was before. That's right, before the 911 call. Same thing with the pumpkins. And as far as the witnesses go, yeah, I let him know more than one witness, but he wasn't interested in the witnesses or the situations. He wrote down a couple of names, and then he wanted to move on to something else. Like, as far as what's actually going on, all he wants to do is interrupt me in the middle of telling him what's going on to tell me it doesn't matter. Well, it absolutely does matter. Context does matter. My living situation does matter. My disabilities do matter. He also wanted to blow off the mentally ill tag. Why is that? Because this is what these police officers and mandated reporters have been using as their excuse for not doing their jobs. They didn't do their jobs. They got busted. I try to turn them in. They call me mentally ill. That's the reality of my life. Anyway, it says The last video you sent me is more helpful in its timing as it occurs several months before September 15th. Yeah, see? When I have to go out in public and I have to record, I make sure that I talk to my phone. I make sure that I speak to my YouTube channel, and I make sure that I speak about what's going on. I make sure that I make an oral report of what's happening to the best of my abilities, because I have to make it public to prove that I'm doing that. There's a lot of stuff I have to leave out. Meanwhile, all these people that want to assume the worst in me, and any evidence that shows that it's bullshit, like this guy here, he just wants to argue it out. Like, if he argues enough, he doesn't have to do any of his job to investigate. How can he defend me if he doesn't know what's going on? Anyway, it says, the last video you sent me is more helpful in its timing as it occurs several months before September 15th, but it doesn't show much I can use. It mostly consists of you narrating to the camera. Well, of course, mostly narrating to the camera. What's the last video that I'd sent him by February 11th? It was me speaking up about the situations. Speaking up about the what and why. And it's not inadmissible in court because it's not hearsay. It goes to show my state of mind. It also goes to show my intentions. Now, the ongoing abuse has been by the youth at the Tillamook Sporting Goods parking lot. And when I say youth, some of these people are easily 30, 35 years of age. It's not like it's a bunch of 9-year-olds hanging out. Nearly everybody there is old enough to drive. The ones who are not old enough to drive are the children of people there or the siblings of people there. Meanwhile, it's a parking lot. It's public. Let's see if this is even still recording. Looks like it is. What the hell is going on with that? Oh. There we go. Where it says Lear, it was supposed to say learn more. But that's Benjamin Fishberg's information. It says it mostly consists of you narrating to the camera, which is inadmissible hearsay. Well, I don't see how. I don't see how me speaking up about the situation and the abuse is inadmissible hearsay. Especially when police want to pull little bits and pieces out so that these other predators, little bits and pieces that they can use out of context, which is illegal. He also typed, if you could provide videos from before September 15th that show you being assaulted, that would be helpful in building your defense. Now, one thing to note is that repeatedly he typed at me that he couldn't see it. Now, all the other people that I sent it to were able to see it, and I asked them, and we've got them recorded speaking with me on my channel about it, about how, yes, they did see the videos. They did watch the videos. I told the truth about what's in the videos. But Mr. Fishberg here wants to pretend that he can't see them, and because he can't see them, it means I didn't send them. And that's just ludicrous. The frequent and ongoing abuse is the reason that I'm not able to function to do what he's asking. My disabilities are the reason that I'm not able to do what he's asking. He's asking me to carry a lot of evidence. He hasn't bothered to take a look at how much. He's
Will you
asking.
just call my phone, will you?
Yes, sir.
Please leave your message for
Awesome vision.
No. All right, so let's get back to reading this. He typed, if you could provide videos from before September 15th that show you being assaulted, that would be helpful in building your defense. Yeah. The problem is he already blew off those videos. And he's paying absolutely zero attention to the situation that I'm in, the amount of time that it takes to do all of these things that he is asking, and the fact that I can't do any of them while people are screaming, getting drunk, slamming doors, and accusing everybody of being a fucking thief. I can't do that while I'm having to worry about Andrew Wolnez doing this again, or Chris Stafford doing this again. The thing that's important about the stuff that happened afterwards is, number one, it ties them together. It shows that those racist youth that have been pulling this stuff, it shows that those racist youth are the reason that Andrew Wolnez started all of his crap. These racist youngins, the ones that Andrew Wolnez tries citing as his excuse for harassing me and stalking me and physically assaulting me and breaking the protection order repeatedly. Yeah, that protection order should have been against Andrew Wolnez and all those racist shits that the cops refused to do anything about, and the cops themselves. The problem is none of these people care that I'm disabled or that I'm being taken advantage of because I'm disabled. And that's exactly what the police have done. That's exactly what Mr. FISCHBURN is doing here now, too. He typed, I checked the videos you posted on September 15th itself, as you mentioned that you had been assaulted about 20 minutes before making the 911 calls. And when did I start making the 911 calls? Did I start making the 911 calls on the 15th? No, I didn't. I started making the 911 calls with the first assaults, first threats against my life, the first property damage, and the police did not investigate. They refused. They wanted to do the, oh, well, you tell us what happened and we'll write it down bullshit. And then, of course, they didn't. They didn't make a report about it. They refused to check any of the body cameras or talk to any of the witnesses. And that's the same thing with this asshole. I gave him the names of witnesses. I was in his office and gave him information. Could have sent him a lot more, but he's doing nothing with it. Meanwhile, these people are still fucking with me. Those racist youth that the police have helped to get away repeatedly. The ones that Andrew Wolnez cited as his excuse for harassing me from the fucking start. Like I said, it's not just one or two people doing it. It's a bunch of people taking part. And I've shown him it's a bunch of people taking part, both before and after. Now, instead of talking about the stuff in there that is useful, what does he do? It doesn't show much I can use, he types. Doesn't show much I can use. Well, what about the stuff that he can? He types, the last video you sent me is more than helpful in its timing as it occurs several months before September 15th. Yeah. And you know what? If the police had done their jobs, or a friend or family member that I sent those videos to had helped me to turn them in at the time, yeah, something could have been done. If he'd have looked at the fucking evidence in any of this time before that crazy Lisa lady busted my phone so that it doesn't function, there's a lot of stuff I could have shown him. But he was being a lazy piece of shit. He typed, I checked the videos you posted on September 15th itself, as you mentioned that you had been assaulted about 20 minutes before making the 911 calls, and recorded it. I recorded a lot of assaults. It doesn't necessarily mean I recorded that one. At that point in time, I'm fairly certain it was because them youngins were throwing shit at my vehicle. And yeah, I have lots of footage of that crap. He typed, none of the videos on your channel for that day. That day. That's the only day they will focus on. Just that day. That's it. What about the other 911 calls that I made? What about the fact that I told all of these people repeatedly before and since this incident that there is a safety issue with the police? That rather than doing their jobs, they're pawning me off on mental health, who's telling me it's not their jobs. And they've been playing this fucking game this whole time. Meanwhile, that's all buried under literally months of evidence, months of me having to record every single day, every moment of every day if it's possible. But it's not, is it? Especially not with predators breaking my things, breaking my phones, breaking my vehicles. It's because of the police and because of Andrew Wolnez and because of these things that these assholes have continued to do since September 15th that has prevented me from doing any of the shit that I'm being fucking asked to do. That in addition to my physical disabilities. I can't turn my physical disabilities off just because you want to pretend they don't exist. Meanwhile, there was some bullshit with the investigator. Now let's pull out my phone and read some of this stuff. See, this is me posting evidence on the internet because my public pretender is a piece of shit. The last message that I sent to him was on Friday. It says, you are knowingly, willingly, and intelligently engaging in illegal activities that assist my predators in escaping justice. This includes the local police. No, you do not get to fucking gaslight me as my public pretender. You do not get to take advantage of me and then play the mentally ill thing. But that's exactly what he did. Now, mind you, I'm showing him evidence of why these people are hurting me through this over and over again. Yeah. You see that right there? That's why people hurt me no matter where I go. That's why I'm separated from my friends and family. That's why Andrew Wolnez pulls his bullshit. Or rather, that's his excuse. And there's a bunch of them, and I sent them to him. And these are some of them years old, some of them more recent. I explained to him about the importance of the abuse, of how long it's been going on. But he wanted to talk over that too. He's asking me for things that he already outright dismissed and continues to dismiss. Now, there's a bunch of it. Those are all links to videos. Here's another one. This is Chris Stafford. No, that's not Chris Stafford.
No, do you want me to?
This is another one of the assaults.
Are you a fucking tweaker coming up on me for no reason? Now you are being recorded. Just leave people alone. Just leave people alone.
Now, that lady wasn't the problem. It was this guy looking for an
There ain't no
excuse.
reason for you to start shit, you fucking tweaker. Just leave people alone.
How about you get the fuck on, you fucking piece of shit?
Don't be starting shit with people. Do not try to assault me.
Fucking scared?
What's up,
dog?
do not hit my things. Knock your shit off, you tweaker fuck.
I didn't even touch you.
Jesus goddamn Christ.
Now, you see that? Literally, the dude just fucking smacked me, right? I'm holding my phone when he does that. That was on Monday, by the way. You know, I get to hear all these people who talk about the convict code and stuff. We don't call the police. We don't talk to the police. And then I get to see those people calling the police. Let's take a look at Chris Stafford. Chris Stafford said, I don't call the police. I've never called the police in my life. And he called the police 3 times in front of me. He called the police on Amanda because she wouldn't have sex with him. She had a boyfriend. And Chris Stafford couldn't take no for an answer. This is a guy who is a violent felon. He's got a history of actually assaulting people. Guess who doesn't? That's right, yours truly. Sean David Schwartz. I don't have a history of assaulting people. You get to hear that guy right there, right after assaulting me. Wants to say he didn't touch me. How many of these predators do that? Immediately after assaulting me, want to say I didn't touch you. Suki Kim typed, I take break for lunch. Hey, Suki Kim, do you have international calling? I'll send you my phone number if you're willing to call and talk with me. I don't know if you were saying that you were taking a break now for lunch, or if you're saying that you just got back from a break for lunch. That's because although you're doing very well with learning English, it's still broken English. So there's certain inferences that I have to ask about because you missed a couple words. And that's where we may run into a lot of issues is context. But then there's also people wanting to twist words into something that they ain't, or make false inferences. When I go up to a mandated reporter and I tell them about abuse that I'm enduring, and I have witnesses there, it's a lot different situation. Now this Benjamin D. FISCHBURN feller, over and over and over again, I sent him these videos. You can see that video after video after video, videos from others, videos from Wolnez, videos with Stafford. There's a lot of videos. And of course, that last guy to assault me, let me find out. Well, I sent it to Claire Jordan, so it'll be in there. And I did my best, did my due diligence, and sent him as much of this as I could. I mean, this guy's not doing his job. I'm going to have to use some curse words. I'm going to have to give him a tiny taste of what I go through every day. Now we got repeatedly in here, he's telling me, let me see. I wasn't calling up 911 just to complain about the cops. I was also calling up 911 to complain about them breaking the law as mandated reporters. When I tell them that it is unsafe to force me to go to the local police, that they will bully me and talk over me and disrespect me and ignore my situation. It is important because these assaults are happening. And I can't turn in without a friend or family member present. And you get to see every time I try to turn in one of these assaults how there's always some excuse why the police officer refuses to fucking do it. Let's see. Now, repeatedly, he's typing, right? Typing, not listening. He's making it all in typing where he can, well, do what most manipulators do. Try to twist it into something it ain't. Try to change the context of it. And repeatedly through the videos you sent aren't working. This is March 16th. You might be able to turn him in. Did you try contacting law enforcement with the witness? No, I didn't. The witnesses have all sorts of reasons why they're afraid to do so.
God, I don't know what to call it. I don't know. Give me your fucking phone now. I don't know what fucking paying for it. Where's my fucking phone gone? I went and bought a fucking charger, spent all kinds of fucking money on it. Here. How many fucking chargers do I gotta fucking buy? And then no fucking phone is gone?
I've had 6 chargers stolen since I got here.
I'm changing the lock. I do not come around my fucking house anymore. People, they better pack up their shit and head on down the road. I'm fucking tired of this bullshit. I can do this crap myself. I don't need these people.
Why doesn't he?
I've been doing this all my fucking life.
Anyway, he typed, I don't represent you in your protective order case. Well, with all due respect, we should have never gotten to the point of a protection order because I was being assaulted. Wolnez should have been arrested for assault. Just like them youngins should have been arrested. He typed, I don't represent you in your protective order case, so I don't have any other advice for you on what to do about Wolnez here. When you try pretending that I'm not competent to aid in my own defense, it's not that I'm not competent to aid in my own defense, it's that I am literally being prevented from aiding in my own defense by being forced into volatile environments with drug addicts and alcoholics. I'm forced to go to services that are run primarily by women. You tell a woman that you're being abused, you're being treated like a child molester or a rapist. They don't care.
Get on down the road, y'all. I want all of you motherfuckers to fuck on down the fucking road. How's that fucking sound? There's a lot of corridors around here. Go sleep in them. Make sure you have a blanket. You're gonna fucking need it. Fucking use your ass, right? Fucking thing after another. Wearing the man fucking patients down for there's nothing fucking right. That's your fucking fault. Now, not my fucking fault. I've been doing that. I've been doing that for all my life. Don't be sorry asses.
See, most of these witnesses, like Valerie, for example, she wanted to make a video recording about it, stating that she's willing to come forward. She had a lot of stuff to do. A lot of these people, like Claire Jordan, got a lot of stuff to do. I give the information. Doesn't matter. See. Who's there?
Jamie.
Jamie?
Yeah. Come lunch the other day.
Are you here to see Mom? He's in a way right now.
Okay, all right. We'll be back in a bit.
Oh my God, you're that super sweet lady from Fred Myers.
Yeah, I know. I know the other day. If you talk for a second, I was just showing the apple, but I don't know if he's there yet. He's working. I don't have a phone. I don't want to keep walking back and forth and doing my balls off, waiting for him. So I was going to use his phone to see if he was there yet. How are you?
Not very good. But he's actually looking for his phone right now.
He's looking for his phone?
Yeah.
We'll go sit in my truck for a while, then walk back and forth to the apple. Just tell Jamie and the dog stop by to say hi.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you, hon. Good. What's your name again?
It's Sean.
John. Okay, Jamie. Good to see you, hon.
Yes, ma'am. I'll let him know right now.
Okay.
Mr. Moss, Jamie was just here to see you. She's gonna go sit in the truck. What? Jamie was just here to see you. Jamie. The lady with the 2 dachshunds. Older lady? Yep. She went to go sit in her car and get warm. Yeah. Jamie! Jamie!
Go get her.
I can't chase her. I literally can't chase her.
What car is she in? Where?
She literally just crossed the road. Anyway, he keeps typing over and over again that he did listen. You know what? If he did listen, I'd feel a lot more comfortable about sending evidence. If he didn't try blowing off every piece of evidence, how about instead of being a negative piece of shit and pretending like none of it matters, how about you pay attention to the fact that it does and why? Okay, if Andrew Wolnez is citing those youngins as his excuse for harming me, and I've got videos of those youngins doing everything from throwing rocks at my vehicle, throwing profanity at my vehicle, throwing profanity at me, screaming at me, trying to threaten, harass, and intimidate me into leaving. Yeah, those are all things that are against the fucking law. It doesn't have to be a physical assault against my person. Now, the fact that there are so many physical assaults against my person If I was able to stay recording 24 hours a day, there'd be a lot more of them that are recorded. But then I'm told I can't come forward about any of the assaults. And I call these people and I tell them repeatedly on these phone calls, I am in immediate danger. I am constantly in immediate danger. But they don't want to hear it. They want to blow me off and treat me like none of these situations happened, like none of them exist. I try to show the evidence. They refuse to look at it in person. If I do get them to look at it in person, it's for a couple of seconds before they come up with an excuse to blow me off again. Police will not do their fucking jobs for a homeless man. And seeing how many men offer to help women, only to treat those women like shit when they don't get laid. Like, why don't you do it because it's the right thing to do? When you say you're going to do something out of the kindness of your heart, and then you're telling people that they need to go bully somebody for you because they did something out of the kindness of their heart. And then they want you to do that every day. They want you to curse and yell and scream at people. No. Don't get me wrong, I am willing to scream and curse. If you're trying to bully and coerce people into having sex with you, that's what I scream and curse about. If you're molesting children, that's what I scream and curse about. When you're threatening violence or getting violent, that's what I scream and curse about. How many times have I tried to turn in these crimes to the police since being arrested? And how am I treated? Meanwhile, my public pretender between February 11th and March 16th, what were we doing? We were arguing about whether or not he listened. And here he's pushing this. This is March 17th. He's typing at me again. He types, "Sir, I have listened to you. If we're going to argue that you felt it was necessary to call 911, yeah, it is." He typed, "We need to get witness accounts to establish what you were going through at the time." I fucking know. That's what I was trying to get him to look at. What I was trying to get him to write down. Duh. Like, this is well over a month after I've gone to his office and met with him in person. He's still having this fucking argument. Like, dude, I went in person to fucking show you. I've tried to coordinate with you and your fucking investigator to show this evidence. You pretending that I have 100% access to all of this at all points in time in a safe environment and all the things that he's got at home or in his office. He types, "We need to get witness accounts to establish what you were going through at the time." Well, duh, that's what I was explaining to him while I was sitting with him. I've got the evidence. I'll send you the evidence. Please look at it. But the important thing right now is that the things that you're asking me to do require me to have assistance stopping the abuse. The very same peoples that were abusing me before that 911 call, and that includes Chris Stafford. Then there's did the police document it when I went to them? That's an important question too. He typed, "That is what I'm trying to get done through my investigator." Right? And he's going to bring up this investigator a lot. That investigator, well, he wanted to do a bunch of stuff that was completely different. This guy here wanted to talk about how it's taking time for his investigator to get paid through the courts, and it's not his fault. Then the investigator is wanting to, after this guy's told me that I can get a hold of the investigator is interested in telling me repeatedly in many different ways that he doesn't work for free. That's his bottom line, and I let Mr. FISCHBURN know this. FISCHBURN to do was to actually schedule seriously, not to talk over me, not to diminish everything that I say. For it later. I was in your office, dude. Anyway, he typed, I want to help you prove that you were experiencing an ongoing emergency. Well, if he was interested in proving that, he would listen to my story and look at the evidence and recognize it. Help to get it recognized. And that includes the ongoing abuse by the police. But how am I going to do that when this man himself is taking advantages of my disabilities? He typed, I want to help you prove that you are experiencing an ongoing emergency. That's why I need my investigator to talk to your witnesses. Please provide him any contact info you have. Well, what did the investigator do? He argued with me. It's not helpful. It all come down to him not getting paid. Here he typed, is there something that you want me to do? You keep expressing your anger at me, but you aren't making it clear what I'm doing wrong or could be doing better. He's not listening. He keeps typing that he's listening, but he's not. We're typing. Let's see. Oh, so instead of acknowledging what you can do better, you refuse to acknowledge you did anything wrong. That's narcissistic. Acknowledge you did anything wrong. That's narcissistic. Type, what do you want me to do, sir? I'm trying to listen to you, but you aren't telling me anything I can work with. I type, that's because we are typing. And no matter what I type, you reword it anyway. This doesn't create any sense of trust whatsoever. He's asking me to do things that if I had access to do those things would have already been done. I wouldn't have needed a lawyer. I need to be able to turn in these crimes to the police without being abused for it. I need to be able to go to the police and trust that they are going to do their jobs. But I can't. And that's why I record it and why I post it on YouTube. If this guy hadn't been trying to be busy arguing, I wouldn't have to try to find somebody to. He's not going to fucking look at it. He's not going to come here to take a look at it for certain. He's not going to help me to get it to his office. He's not going to carry it. He's not going to transport it. He's not going to do anything of the sort. He is going to expect me to do those things.
fucking ever again. Cocksucker.
I'm not allowed to have any reaction to other people's hatred or anger. I'm not allowed to have a reaction to their violence. I'm not allowed to react to Andrew Wolnez kicking the crap outside of my vehicle. I'm not allowed to react when he's assaulting me at the Safeway repeatedly. I'm not allowed to react when he assaults me at Townsend Hall. I'm not allowed to react. I just have to take it. This is what makes it so easy for these predators to harm me. Something that is not being addressed. Why are the cops so predatory? Because they didn't want to do their jobs in 2016 in Virginia, 2017 in Boulder, in 2017 in Boulder, Nebraska. The police didn't want to do their jobs for a homeless man, and then Natalie Bollinger got killed. And instead of having a friend or family member before Natalie got killed to help me to turn it in, I had people who took advantage of me, made empty promises, and then expected slave labor out of me over those empty promises. You promised to help me until I have nothing left. You promised to help me if I bring cigarettes. You promised to help me if I watch your house and make sure it's safe. You promised to help me if I babysit your kids. These predators, see, he could have easily made the connection between those predators at the Tillamook Sporting Goods parking lot and Andrew Wolnez just by listening to the very first video with Andrew Wolnez. The evidence with Natalie Bollinger that I sent him, that was well before I ever met Wolnez. That shows that, yeah, Wolnez is trying to use Natalie Bollinger to justify his crimes. But this guy is ready. And then he wanted to pawn it off on this investigator who, well, was taking his dear sweet time because of a pay issue that shouldn't have spilled out over onto me, but it did anyway. Now here he's asking me to get a hold of his investigator and give him all of this information. You're going to see why that's important here shortly. He's pawning it off onto his investigator. He needs me to send it to his investigator. Let's take a look at his investigator. Oh, come on now. So I'm going to have to go through all the text messages. I don't remember which one says. No, wrong Rick. See, I gotta find somebody who's not gonna talk over everything. And I haven't had that. Makes things difficult. There's Caitlin Thompson, one of the witnesses. There's evidence here that I tried sending the police evidence. Multiple officers. The stuff they claim I didn't try to send them. Video after video after video. I sent them. There's important details about the abuse that I've had to endure that the terrorists posing as public pretenders just talk over. It's their turn to speak. That's the problem with lawyers. They don't care what you're going through. They don't want to hear your words, not if you're broke. They had no incentive to investigate, no incentive to do their jobs, and no incentive at all. Same with these people with Adult Protective Services. Without a friend or family member calling it in, they get to pretend I'm making it up. Where's the first message with that guy? I might have saved it as the wrong one. Fuck it. I've got his emails open. There's folks who say they want to help, and then they feel that because they forced help on you that you didn't need, made empty promises, that it gives them the right to abuse you, or to force abuse on you, or to demand unreasonable things of you. Let's see, important. Other inbox, this has got to be it. Rick, 7. Alright, we'll read the messages from Rick, and I'm sorry I can't show them to you. Oh, this is the wrong Rick. Come on now. Let's see. Oh, that's not it. How do I go to the next set of them? Here it is. Rick. This is on Friday, March 8th. This is when I was finally given the information to get hold of this investigator. I typed, "Hi, I was told you are the investigator for my case. Mr. Benjamin told me to contact you. I am Sean Schwartz. He typed, I'll call you Monday. On Monday, March 11th, Rick Darnell typed, Sean, I just tried calling you. The message said the mailbox is full. Please give me a call at the below listed number. Rick M. Darnell. Um, Rick M. Darnell, private investigator, PSID 033471, phone number 503-440-6564. On Tuesday, March 26th, he typed to me 11th, 2024, you told me that you would forward contact information for people you wanted me to contact regarding your case. Your attorney told me you want me to contact the Scudder family, Dallas Palmer, Claire Jordan, and Miguel, Safeway manager. Please forward me any contact information you have for these witnesses. Mind you, I'd already done that. I'd already tried to do that in person. I'd already sent things to multiple people. The problem is that the investigator here wanted to talk over me and talk about his pay schedule. And of course, that's something that I brought up. Like, I tried talking to this guy. I did try talking to him. These contacts, I mean, it's not like I'm not telling them about the situation with the contact. It's not like I don't have their phone numbers. Here's Paul at Safeway. See, obviously, my phone number. Obviously, I don't know his last name. He is a witness. He's also not happy. Ezra typed, oh, so you have someone reaching out. Ezra, I'm going to block you right fucking now. I mean, seriously, knock it off. No, I don't have someone reaching out. If I had someone fucking reaching out, I wouldn't be reaching out on fucking YouTube. No, I don't have anyone reaching out. I have people making empty promises and taking advantage of me. I have people making empty promises, shouting, slamming doors, making accusations of everybody around them, having paranoid delusions of all sorts of crazy shit. All sorts of people in this environment. Lots of tweakers, lots of heroin addicts, lots of fentanyl addicts, lots of alcoholics. So this person, Ezra, typed, I just came in. I noticed that. This person also typed, you said some person messaged about helping. Yeah, lots of people messaged about helping. How about instead of typing, coming in the middle of something, how about you just don't type and you listen? I'm sorry that you missed something, but if I have to stop my story every time one of you assholes joins in, and I'm going to use the word asshole here for a reason. I'm going to explain it to you why I'm using the word asshole. All right? This is not the right forum for this. Okay? This is not how this should be done. It should not be open on YouTube for God and everybody to make fun of and to play head games with. It shouldn't be a public discussion over everybody's opinions. But it is. It's open, isn't it? Because one of you might offer to help the way that I need, which is not doing it on YouTube. On YouTube. Now, if you can imagine how many people have gotten on here and been an asshole because I wouldn't answer their question right when they fucking wanted it. You act like children. You want it right now. But then when it comes to helping me, but you're not trying to help me. And that's the problem, Ezra, is that you're typing. That's what you're doing. Typing at me is not helpful. Telling me to do things is not helpful. Asking 10,000 questions while I'm busy explaining something important and being demanding of that attention is not helpful. And you know what? There's a lot of people that if I don't answer their question immediately, they start being assholes and spamming the fuck out of my chat. Being bullies over and over and over again. Then I'm told it's my fault for going to YouTube. It's my fault that none of you pieces of shit are actually helping me out. Shit. I use the words assholes. Because it's fucking sick for you to get on here and see this stuff happening and hear this stuff happening and think that this is about your fucking opinions like it's a goddamn AA meeting. No, AA meetings are for pussies. AA meetings are for people to whine about the lives that they ruined. Oh, poor them, they're alcoholics. No, that's not okay. This isn't a place to argue. This is a place for me to speak up about the abuse I'm enduring and try to get help. Now, you have no idea how many people have gotten on my channel, asked a question that I literally answered 5 other people in the video asking the same exact question because they just got on and they want to know what's going on. So I'm supposed to cater to my viewers, right? No. That's not what this YouTube channel is for. It's not about you, the viewers. It's about turning in abuse. That's it. It's not about your fucking opinions. And those guys, I understand that you're not one of the ones who, if I don't answer your question immediately, that you start accusing me of being a liar and making it all up, so on and so on and so on. And I'm thankful that you're not one of those assholes. But I'm also speaking up about stuff that I'm hoping you'll look up. Not that you'll be able to find it without my assistance. And that's why I'm asking you to send me a fucking email. Jesus Christ. 8:47. I tried telling them off. They put rocks through my window. Now all the stuff that's happened in the last week, that's, well, pretty blatant and obvious why I can't function.